Hello, Public Access presents All About Books with Paul Kinkade.
Welcome. I'm Paul Kinkade, and you found All About Books, where we read them so you don't have to. Tonight's guest, well, I don't know about you, and I really don't know about you, but I've always loved adventure. Don't you? And boy, have we got something for you special tonight. Juan, could we get a close-up of this? The title of the book, Climbing Kilimanjaro and Other Adventures, written by none other than, you'll have to excuse me, I may mangle the name just a little bit, Really Happy Commander Ponsonby Smythe. How did I do?
I find it, first of all, thank you for inviting me, but that's probably the worst example of expression of my name, title, I've ever heard.
What's your Christian name?
Ponsonby Smythe is good enough for you. It was good enough for Eton.
Good enough for Eton. So I'm supposed to call you, may I call you Ponce?
No, Ponsonby Smythe.
Ponsonby Smythe, okay. Well, it's kind of hard to believe, but I understand that this book is a worldwide sensation. Bookstores everywhere are stocking it, and you become quite popular on the lecture circuit for the book, and yet somehow, I don't know how, we were able to book you for this show.
Yes, and I do thank you for that. Yes, it was difficult to fit it into my calendar.
Yes?
But I realised the importance of talking to the ordinary people.
Boy, where have I heard that before? Well, tell us, Mr. Ponsonby Smythe.
Well done.
How is it you initially got into the adventurous life that you've come to lead?
I served in Her Majesty's Royal Navy for a number of years.
Yes.
And when I left, I got bored.
You were bored?
Yeah. So, looking around the world, I just decided that I needed challenges.
Mm-hmm. Don't we all?
And coinciding with my lack of fitness, I thought, take up running, and of course, marathons.
Marathons. And on a yearly basis, how many marathons would you run?
Oh, not more than one a month.
Not more?
No.
So would this take you all over the world?
Yes. I mean, London marathons was my first.
Yes.
And the following week, Paris.
Paris.
Just calendar problem.
Uh-huh. Now, were you fit enough to just run over to Paris, or did you drive?
No, I had a driver.
You had a driver, okay. So after these marathons, you're physically fit?
I'm feeling pretty good, yes.
You're feeling pretty good, and you decide, what's next? What can I do to challenge myself?
Yes, my chap.
Your chap.
My chap.
Okay.
Was my Batman in the Navy.
The Navy, okay.
He had read about these tours one can do to Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa.
Oh, okay.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've not heard of the tours.
Yeah. So we had a look and thought it would be a real wheeze to pop over there.
Okay. Had you been to Africa before?
No. At sea.
At sea. Yeah, the ships probably don't.
Yeah, they don't do much desert.
No. Okay, so you decide to go to Africa with Chap.
Yeah.
Just the two of you?
Oh, yes. He would be my bearer, my Batman, iron my shorts, things like that.
Iron your shorts, okay. And so did you just go over there, find Kilimanjaro, and pop up the mountain?
Yes, it's fairly well signposted these days.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So we flew into Kenya.
Kenya?
And got a jeep, and there we were.
There you were. And did you immediately climb the mountain?
No. Weather was far too bad.
Ooh.
So we camped out in the foothills for some weeks.
And when you say the weather was really bad, what kind of bad weather are we talking about?
Well, probably 50 to 60 degrees.
Ooh, sounds chilly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at this base camp, and the 2 weeks are coming to an end. Then you just pack everything back up and set off the mountain?
No. It was important to keep ourselves occupied.
Yes.
While we're waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember one night sitting there, looking around, and I suddenly spied across Chap's shoulder sharp red eyes in the bush, in the dark. So as not to alarm him, I just stood, tapped him on the shoulder and beckoned him behind me.
Yes. And did he listen to your beckon?
Yes, he beckoned himself right behind me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I picked up a stick that happened to be laying there
Yes.
and gradually moved forward towards these eyes. Fire behind me,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't move. I could just hear this real rumble,
Real rumble.
which was the lion, of course.
Well, either there's something for dinner that didn't agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we moved forward, and it was a male lion sitting there just looking at us balefully.
Okay. Okay. So did it hang around all night?
No, I needed to move it out of the way.
Yes. And so what did you do?
So I said to Chap, I said, bring me a bit of your dinner, old boy.
Okay.
He did.
And?
I put it on the end.
And I seem to remember in the book that we have a photograph.
Yes. I'm glad you've got that.
Yes. Juan, could we get a close-up of this? It shows you tempting the lion with some of Chap's dinner.
Yes,
And did he take the bait?
he certainly did. Chap, you mean?
Yes.
No, Chap
No,
was...
the lion.
No, Chap was half a mile behind at this stage.
Okay. Okay. So the lion disappeared?
I drove him off, because we were taught fencing.
You
at
drove him
school.
up? Was this in the Jeep?
No.
Oh,
Fencing.
Oh, I see. For fencing
Yeah. It's one of the skills one picks up.
at Eton.
Yeah.
I see. So tell me about Kilimanjaro then.
Kilimanjaro, not exactly Mount Everest, you understand, but arduous nonetheless, and very, very difficult when you have little support other than just poor old Chap. And
How old? I have to ask. How old is or was Chap at the time?
certainly late 60s, possibly 70,
I see. Was he a little wiry guy?
but tough,
Tough,
like a nail.
like a nail. Okay. So you decided to start up the mountain.
Yeah, which we did. Took us just a few days to get to the very top. Disappointed when I got there, nothing to do. Nothing to do at all, so we came down again.
Oh, okay. So it was a fairly uneventful journey.
Well, regrettably, no.
How so?
I was pretty tired by the time we got halfway down.
You carrying a load on your shoulders?
Of course, we had split the load between us,
Okay.
but I was exhausted.
Okay.
And Chap is my chap. So I handed him my load
Well, that
under
was
his shoulder,
okay. That
which
was
he managed for a couple of steps, and then the poor old thing just stumbled
yes.
and began to roll down the hill. Arms, legs, going all directions. My underpants
Yes.
scattered across the mountainside. And unfortunately, he didn't survive.
So in a way, you could say that an important chapter in your life
My
ended.
life. I hadn't heard it that way.
Well, you've heard it now.
Yeah.
So okay. So what did you do? You're grieving for the loss of Chap.
Yeah.
What next in your adventurous life?
A short trip across to Spain. I thought I'd take comfort in a bottle of wine or two,
Okay.
as I've done.
Yeah. So we understand.
Yeah.
And
I sat there, enjoying a bottle of wine one evening, and I spied across the square large signs, which I don't speak Spanish, you understand, but
nor do I.
I got the impression that they were going to be releasing bulls just to run through the streets.
Okay.
I was talking to the owner of
The bar.
the bar, and it said that it was known as the running of the bulls,
Okay.
and that fit young people like myself
From the marathons.
would run ahead of the bulls and see if they could survive.
By outrunning
This
them.
was a challenge.
This was a challenge. So I gather there was a large crowd that partook of.
All the streets are full. The balconies, the young ladies throwing favours and roses. I stood with the chaps in my running gear,
Yes.
and suddenly you could hear the thunder of hooves, the shouting of the crowd,
Yes.
and people began to run, and I ran,
Quickly.
and I ran, and I ran.
Did you see the bulls coming
And
eventually?
I could hear them, could feel their breath behind me. And I thought to myself, this is not a race to win. These bulls are going to get us.
Yes.
But I only have to be faster than the man next to me.
By which you mean?
I just elbowed them as I went.
Oh, and what happened if they tripped and fell?
They stumbled and the bulls concentrated on them. Therefore, I continued.
Okay, that's
sensible,
good.
don't you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the running of the bulls, and also from the book.
I didn't know you had
yes,
that.
Yes, not Murray. Juan. Okay, this is excellent. Lots of danger in this photo.
Oh,
very good, very good. So what you do after Spain? Did you get all of this involvement with bulls out of your system?
yeah. Well, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
But no, I decided that it was about time I saw the sea again.
Okay.
So I travelled back to London. From Southampton, I boarded the Jolly QE2,
yes.
World's finest cruise line, you know.
Oh,
and to New York.
To New York.
Yeah.
And?
A canyon of a city.
A canyon.
Oh, absolutely horrified, really. Couldn't wait out to get in the fresh air.
Okay, okay. So where'd you go from New York?
Kansas, I think you call it.
You mean Kansas?
Yes. So they said, yes.
Yes, not
So I was in Kansas, yes.
Okay, okay. And?
They had bulls there too.
They did?
Lots of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was this because it was a stockyard, or they were doing...
They were stockyards, they call them. I didn't pay too much attention because I needed a beer occasionally.
Yes.
But essentially they had a thing called a rodeo.
Rodeo. For our viewer, Mr. Ponsonby Smythe, yeah?
Close.
Means rodeo. Rodeo.
Yeah. So this involved brave young things hurling themselves at cows and bulls.
Yes.
I'd run before bulls. I'd tempted lions.
So this seems to be the next logical step in your adventurous life.
Another challenge.
Before you go further, we have a photo.
Oh, you've got that one.
And this is absolutely spectacular. Juan, you're really getting a workout today, Juan, huh? Okay, now tell us about this.
They're the longhorn.
Yes.
Which is somewhat larger than the Spanish bull.
Yes.
And historically speaking, very dangerous.
Yes.
But, you know, once you get hold of the neck, dig your heels in.
Dig your heels in.
Like you do in life.
In life, yes.
Pull them to the
You've
ground.
got some pretty strong heels there.
I didn't wear these.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
One has to wear what we call back in Britain a Cuban heel.
A Cuban heel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What,
Dig
it has
it in.
little cigars on them, or?
No, it's to stop your foot coming out of the stirrups.
Oh, okay. So you challenged another bull in the rodeo or
and
rodeo.
wrestled it to the ground.
Okay, and then after all this is done, surely your adventuring times, you must be totally satisfied now, and you can think of nothing else to top it off with.
There remains one challenge to mankind.
What's that?
It involves going to the Arctic.
By yourself?
A solo trek.
A solo trek. And how long did that take you?
From the edge of the ice floe, I walked possibly 3-4 weeks, I think.
4 weeks. Yeah. 4 weeks. And you carried all your gear?
Unsupported.
Yeah, it must have been really tough not having Chap around.
It was, and it did give me time to reflect on the loss of Chap.
Uh-huh. Kind of.
I thought to myself at the time, wouldn't it have been nice if I knew his name?
Yeah, that's true. But of course, you couldn't be so upset about him passing that you shed a tear or two, because I imagine they would have frozen on your face.
It would have been a problem.
Okay, so you get up there to the Arctic, and I know that you documented it, but it didn't turn out the way you planned, did it?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, such a small world in every sense of the word.
Yes.
I walked to the position I believed the North Pole to be.
Yes.
Set up my camera, because
Yes.
I'm going to record this.
Yes.
And I knelt and indicating this is where I am.
Yes.
The clock's ticking on the timer on the camera.
Yes.
And suddenly I can feel the earth move. which was ice, not earth, you understand?
Yes, yes.
And I thought, earthquake in the Arctic?
Who knows?
But suddenly, as I caught and turned, there's a damn great American submarine rising behind me.
So it kind of spoiled your moment.
Do you know the chaps were okay?
They were.
Yeah.
They,
Only trouble is the ship was dry.
the fixers, but they give you a spot of tea?
No tea.
Pity.
Coffee and Coke, I think.
Coffee and Coke. Yeah. Well, whoops. Well, Murray's not going to like that, but too bad. We go back to the beginning of your story.
Yeah.
We'll kind of wrap it up here, but I did come across a photo
Really?
in your book, of you during your marathon days, and I'll show you that.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, it's a while ago. You want to get a close-up of that.
Oh, breasting the tape.
Breasting the tape, yes. Now, I must admit, I found all the other photos fascinating.
Yeah.
But there's something a little unbelievable about this photo.
What, how young I look?
Well, that's the least of it. It seems your face, if I may say so, it doesn't go with the body at all, which leads me to believe that you'd never participated in the marathons.
Oh, I don't know why you would say that. I realise it's... Well, I was in a hurry.
You were in a hurry.
Yeah. I will admit that the editor did say to me that I needed a photograph of the marathon.
Okay.
And
Didn't
of course
happen to have one?
I wasn't in the business of recording it then.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll take that as a...
But Hussein said it was all right.
Okay, if you say so. The book, again, is Climbing Kilimanjaro and Other Adventures by Right Honorable Commodore Ponsonby Smythe. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again.
Very kind of you, Paul. Thank you very much.
You've been watching All About Books with Paul Kinkade. Tonight's show was sponsored by Murray's Mints. Now here's a word from Murray.
Oh, Murray's mints. I pay $1 for a mint, because Murray said so. You got a problem with that? And do this. Murray does this.
Thank you, Murray. You can find the Right Honorable Commodore Ponsonby Smythe's book at the following locations. It's available at all greater transit systems in London, San Francisco, and of course Ventura County. Or you can find his book at the Cut and Paste Book and Print Shop, where we make books so you don't have to. And it's also available at the very discreet shop above Fencing's Pawn and Loan on Lionstick Road, where Ponsonby's sister Gwendolyn Smythe runs Book Hoarders Anonymous. And if you can't get to the shop, you can find them online at bookhoardersanonymous.org. Thank you for watching All About Books.